All right, joining us right now is Senator Loren Legarda. She was, of course, listening to and was in the plenary hall. I'm sorry. Good evening, Senator Legarda. Thank you for being.
Pia.
Okay. Well, tell us first, Senator Legarda. We heard, we all heard many promises that were made and many targets. Sinabi by 2015, 2014, by the end of my term. No, I suppose you do believe them. But I overheard you earlier saying that you're going to want to look for these, halimbawa, classroom ganon.
Yes. The report card was detailed, no? And he was able to also give targets which are measurable because there are timelines and targets as well. He mentioned about the end of the year, we should be able to fill in the 66,000 backlog in classrooms. He measured about the drop from 2 million metric tons to 500,000 metric tons in the importation of rice, and soon we will export rice. We look forward to that day. We are happy that the rain gauges and the water sensors of Project NOVA for the OST will be increased so that our low-lying communities and vulnerable communities can be forewarned from incessant rains. We are happy that the mining EO will lead into legislation so that the revenue take on mining will benefit our poorer communities, but that has to be sustainable and implemented on the ground by the local governments. I'm glad that he mentioned about disaster resilience and tree planting and warned against illegal loggers. The Universal Health Care program, which is based on a bill which I filed since 2007, finally will be implemented with the 15 million poorest of the poor to be covered by PhilHealth. These are just among many of the measurable, not only gains, but targets which will be implemented. And I think he can't do it alone. We in Congress, you in media, the Filipino people must support the president, not for politics' sake, but for the sake of our Filipino people. Because ang mga tao, maski sino nakaupo dyan, mahirap pa rin sila eh. But let's support President Aquino because for me, it's our last card. If this administration fails, then we fail as
Saan tayo pupulutin?
Yes, so long, we've been touted as a sick man of Asia. And now that with a credit upgrade, with a projection of greater tourists, and in fact, we have more tourists now, and we must be able to support him for our own sake. And I hope that we could do that.
Well, there was a lot that was mentioned, Senator Legarda, but there was something that escaped the attention siguro of the president, or he preferred not to say it. Wala siyang binanggit ng directly, no? Yung freedom of information.
President Pia, in his message this morning in our opening in the Senate, mentioned about the POGI. Yun ang acronym na binigay nila eh. People's, is it Public Organization Government Information or something. It's called the POGI bill, or the FOI. And it will be a priority in the Senate.
Well, that's what also Speaker Belmonte did earlier in the House. No? Ang sabi niya, RH at FOI. So kumbaga ang sinasabi niyo, Senator Legarda, is kayo na yung bahala doon.
I think so. Yes, we will do our job, and we will make sure that all the promises of the President are supported in terms of needed legislation and in terms of budget allocations. Now, it's up to the executive, the various government departments, and the cabinet members whom the President hailed should implement the laws that we enact.
Maraming salamat po,
Hold them accountable. In the next SONA, I will see you here. We will measure the gains or the failures of the administration. But I sincerely hope it will be gains.
You hope or you think?
I hope and I think and I expect. And I demand. And I speak on behalf of the Filipino people whom I represent.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Senator Loren Legarda. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.